Live from the Sinister District and the great beyond. Good evening, everyone, everything, and all creatures of the night. I'm Michael Paul, alongside Mr. Curbs. Tonight we're diving deep into one of the most chilling phenomena whispered around the world, the Hatman. Stay right where you are. You're listening to the Sinister District. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here back another week at the Sinister District, here at the round table with Mr. Curbs and our special guest, Lena. Lena's going to tell us all about her experience with the entity called the Hatman, which this one is a little bit scarier than the other ones, I must say. This is a real spirit, a demon. This thing is evil. But apparently Lena had an encounter that didn't feel all that evil. It felt peaceful, and it felt oddly comfortable. So we're going to talk about that. And yeah, this fascinates me a lot. So welcome, Lena, and it's a pleasure to have you. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, so usually the Hatman appears when you have sleep paralysis, right? During REM sleep. But you saw the Hatman just in broad daylight, not during sleep paralysis or anything like that, right? So why don't you share your encounter? How did it go?
It was nighttime, but I was doing something that I normally did at night, and that was I love winter and I love being cold. So I would wait until my parents were asleep, and then I would either open a window or the door and like just enjoy the smell of the air and the feeling of the cold on my skin. So I got up one night, like I would often do in the winter, and I went downstairs. I opened the front door, and I looked outside. My elementary school was right across the street from my house. And I looked out and I could smell the snow in the air, and I could feel the crisp air on my skin. And I was just like loving it. And I usually just stepped out, had a few moments, and then would step back in. But for some reason, something told me to look to my right, and I did. And there he
Oh no.
was, just across the street, standing on the corner on the opposite side of the street.
And you had no clue what this entity was before. You've never heard of the Hatman, right? Or any type of spirit
I
like
was like,
this, or
I was like 10, and we didn't
okay,
have
right,
internet or,
okay.
yeah, this was
Um,
like back in the 80s.
wow. So what did you think it was? Going through your 10-year-old brain, do you think it was just like a stranger, or did you actually think it was an entity? How would you
I
describe the look?
legitimately, I legitimately had no clue. It was just, it's just like what everybody says. It was just a black figure, and I could tell that it had a hat and like a trench coat. There was no
Hmm.
features. Like I know sometimes I see pictures where he has red eyes, and he did not. There was no facial features, just kind of like somebody in a hat and a coat standing there. Um, yeah, so no, and I didn't know what to think. Like I had no idea. But if I would have thought it was a stranger, there was like an immediate sense of like peace. There was no like danger, or I didn't feel uneasy.
Hmm.
Which in inner city Baltimore, I mean, probably should have thought a little uneasy, but um,
What
yeah, it
what'd you
was
do?
peaceful.
What'd you do after you saw it? Did you just like run back inside?
No, I actually, and that's funny because I always before would try to get back inside as quick as I could after getting like a little bit of winter air time, because it's the middle of the night. I'm thinking my parents are going to come out and get me, for having the door open. Um, but I didn't care. I just wanted to stay out there with him as long as it was like I was kind of like awestruck. I don't know. It was like maybe a trance. Like he was just so
But you felt the
peaceful.
the presence was like a spirit, or like something unworldly, right? You didn't think it was like a person or anything.
No, I kind of, and like I said in my message, I don't really want to say it was like seeing God, but it was like just I don't know. It was like awestruck. Like I didn't want to leave his presence.
Felt spiritual.
Yeah. You said
Yeah.
you didn't really like see his eye, like he didn't have like red eyes like it's like usually depicted. But did you like sense that he was like looking, like did he see you? Like was he like looking at you?
Yes, and that's the hardest thing to explain is like how I knew that he was looking at me without having facial features, and also how I knew immediately that it was a him.
Yeah, that's the senses that nobody talks about. Social awareness of something watching you. But you know it was facing you.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, did he like was he like walking or was he just like standing there? Like
Okay, so he was just standing there at first across the street on the corner. My house was on the corner as well. So I was already like by the corner of the one side of the street and he was on the corner of the other side. So then as I was standing there like looking at him just like in awe, he moved one time and it wasn't like no walking, he just like went from one spot to the next, and where he went the second time is in the middle of the crosswalk. So he was like in the middle of the street. And
but
then
with,
that's as
with
close as he came.
but with no walking, like what did he like was like a teleport?
Yeah, like it was no walking or floating or anything. Like he was just on the sidewalk, and then he appeared in the middle of the crosswalk, and then that's as close as he ever came.
It's interesting.
Wow.
And I didn't want him to leave, and I was very sad that he left. And I'm
Oh.
also very sad that I've never seen him again.
Have you seen any other entities similar? Because we have the shadow people, right? This is a entity from the Hatman.
No, and I have to say, like, I don't know if I should say this, but I don't believe in ghosts or anything. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't believe in anything.
But after you saw it, you still didn't believe in anything.
No.
What did you think you saw then? You think it was like a hallucination, or?
No, I know he was real. I mean, like I said, I was 10, and it's back in the day. We didn't have the internet, or I didn't even know, like, think to know what this could be. And I didn't tell anybody because it's really selfish, but I wanted him to be for me. Like, I didn't want any of my friends to see him. I know, so I didn't tell anybody. I just kind of kept him to myself in hopes that I would see him again. And then years later, I know I sent these messages 2 years later, an acquaintance of mine who lived on the same street as me, but like the next block over, she had put up a Facebook post saying, "Has anyone seen this?" And it was the Hat Man. And I was like shaken, and I wrote, "I've seen him." And she's like, "I've seen him too." And I just think it's funny that we lived on the same street and we both saw him. And she reminded me that the house that I saw him in, or the building I saw him in front of, was a church.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
And she lived up the street, on the opposite side of the street, a block up. And she said she saw him in her house. And she said she didn't get any evil vibes either. She didn't describe it like me, where she felt like awestruck, but she just said she didn't feel any evil energy.
So has like multiple people on like this neighborhood or like street have seen him, like, or just the person that you know of?
Well, when she made that post, there was a couple other people who either lived on our street, but like in a different block, or who lived on a street that crossed our street, who said they had seen him.
Has there ever been like have you ever like researched like any like I guess maybe like Like maybe he's like like a spirit or something of like someone who like died there, and he's just like roaming the streets or something like that. Like, has anybody like died in that area or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I remember my acquaintance who talked about it said that she thought maybe it was one of the priests from the church.
Like
Um,
still living, or like just like I
um,
guess like
I guess past.
past?
I mean, yeah, I never thought of that because, like I said, I don't believe in like ghosts and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. To me, like the Hat Man is just a Hat Man. He's not like a spirit, or he's like his own thing. He's his own person, I guess. If
I
that.
think the hat it's like more of like a hallucination thing. Like people see it as like when they get like sleep paralysis and they like start like dreaming and they or like something
Yeah,
along those lines and they see like a dark figure in their room. It's called it's like a sleep paralysis demon.
yeah. This is one of the most common shadow demon figures that you could see at your bedside. So
Oh,
this
I
is
think I saw something where it was like the reasoning behind it is because people usually associate like people in the shadows with like like a trench coat and like a big hat like as like almost like strangers or like I guess like people who are like kind of like creepy or whatever. So like their brain kind of like conjures up like something like horrifying like and then that ends up being like their sleep paralysis demon.
Hmm.
they said
But this
it's
doesn't sound like anything like this sounds like
hmm
a sort of like very different.
yeah. This is very unique. Did you notice any particular sounds or surroundings during the
Um,
encounter? And what time of the day was
I,
it?
it was in the middle of the night. It was late. It had to have been after my parents went to bed.
Right.
Um, like I say, I was 10 and I really wasn't. I just waited until I couldn't hear them anymore and I assumed they went to bed. And I like hustled downstairs to open the door and I would only do it during the winter because I love winter. I love the cold air and the smell. And I noticed that it was quiet. And I lived in inner city Baltimore, like I said, and it was like dead silent outside.
Hmm.
Which I mean, it was late at night, so that's probably not unusual. But um, I also, when I saw him, usually when I would go outside like that, I would like hurry back in so that I wouldn't get in trouble. And I remember just not caring, like not caring if my parents caught me being outside. Like I did not want to leave him.
I wonder if I
Mm.
mean everybody associates a Hatman with an evil demon entity. I wonder if he was trying to deceive you somehow uh, in your presence as a young child, and maybe he um, yeah, maybe he was trying to deceive you.
I don't Oh, this kind of sounds different. Like usually people see the Hat Man when they're having when they're like usually sometimes it's like after like a lot of medication or something like that, and it causes people to like hallucinate at night. Uh, like I don't know. It sounds like kind of like the Hat Man. I don't think usually is just seen like walking around. Like it's usually like from like people who suffer from like sleep paralysis, like people who are like on like a lot of medication and they're like starting to like hallucinate a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely wasn't on any medication.
Yeah,
I I
I
did
doubt.
have I did have I won't go into it, but I did have a pretty rough childhood and I was usually sad and like, you know, um so I don't know for usually from usually being sad to like being so peaceful. I think that's why I've hung on to it so many years is
Hmm.
just that peaceful feeling like I would love to have it back. And I've waited for what is it, 40 years now? 40 years now. I've never seen him again.
Do people still see him in that area, or is this just like a back in the day kind of
Um,
thing?
we've all moved. That's a really rough neighborhood now. Back in
Hmm.
when I lived there in the 80s, it wasn't too bad, but it's really bad now. So I don't think anybody that I associate with or talk or still talk to still lives there.
Oh.
Um, And I had never said anything to anybody after I saw him, like I said. And she's actually the first person who, had she not put that post on Facebook, I would have never have known that anybody else had seen him.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most fascinating parts, which means that it's not like it seems to be like tied to like the area and like like a maybe like something like a just like a spirit walking around or something like that.
Yeah, that side of the like it was my block, and then the block up is where I saw him, and that block that I saw him on one corner, that building was a church, and then I think now she said it's a halfway house or something.
Mm.
And then there was a big like field kind of in between, and then on the other corner was another church, because the big field was called the churchyard, and the two churches kind of shared it.
Are you a very religious person, would you say?
I definitely believe in God, but I don't go to church and I don't like study religion or anything.
Do you believe in good spirits like archangels, guardian angels?
Um, Not really.
No.
I think I just don't believe in things that I can't see. Because it'd be like, do you believe in ghosts? No. Well, you believe in the Hat Man? Well, I've seen the Hat Man. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen a ghost or a spirit, but I have seen him.
And you've never seen any other ghosts or any entities, and have you tried? I mean, I guess you wanted to see the Hatman again. Have you really tried to interact with them again, or
No, like I said, even before I saw him, I would go downstairs after the parents went to sleep to like get the fresh air. So I did that before I saw him, and I kept doing it afterward, hoping to see him again. And we moved a lot. We stayed in the same neighborhood, but we moved houses a lot. I think it's because my parents probably didn't pay the rent and we got evicted, so we'd have to move houses. But um, so still in the same neighborhood, different street, and I would still do my, thing of just going outside to get the fresh air. And I've never saw him again.
has this experience affected you, like your sleep or daily life? Because I'm guessing after this, you just went back to bed, or
Yeah, just went back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being out there looking at him, and then like the next second I remember being in the house. I don't remember going back in the house, shutting or locking the door. I was just back in the house.
probably all went so quickly.
Yeah, whereas I remember, getting up, going down the steps, unlocking the door, going out. But right afterward, and I remember like thinking, I'm back in my house. Where did he go? And I was like really sad.
Hmm. So, have you told anybody else about your encounter, your parents, or did they react to what happened?
Um, the only person that I've ever told besides like the the girl on my street and then you guys is my daughter Megan. She's 24 now. I told her like a few years ago, and she loves weird stuff. She like explores abandoned houses and psych wards and buildings and stuff like. And she's just very interested in all that. So I knew she would believe me, and it was easy to tell her. But I normally don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's probably like hard to explain to some people.
Yeah, it's not easy talking about these things. Nobody believes you sometimes, but
Yeah.
It's kind of like too, like I want to keep him to myself. Like I know, like
well, I mean, your friend down the
thousands or
block.
millions of people has seen him, but well, she's seen him too, so that's kind of like a shared experience. But if nobody knows that I've seen him and I've not heard anybody say, "Well, hey, I've seen this guy," and brought it up,
Mhm.
then to me, I like to keep him to myself. And when I read the stories of him being like people thinking he's evil or anything, I kind of chuckle. And I'm like, well, not to me, he's not, or he wasn't, evil to me. So
Well, no, you said your friend she like saw that she saw him in like her house, right? Was
Yes.
she? Was she like around the same age as you? Like 10?
No, well, I don't know when she saw him. Like, I don't think it was the same year as me, but I kind of dated her brother, so I think she's maybe like 2 or 3 years younger than me.
I don't know.
Did she also have a
Yeah.
positive experience, or?
She just said that she saw him and that she didn't sense any evil intentions.
This is so interesting. We're gonna have to get a part two with a guy who or a person who's had a
Evil
negative,
Hatman.
yeah, experience. Because this is I've
That's.
never heard
I mean,
this.
I think that's quite fascinating because, like, I think if I see anybody in my house, let alone like a shadowy figure in a hat, I'd probably be a little freaked out.
Yeah, I'm surprised how calm you guys are.
Yeah, he was kind of I feel like he made me that way. Like I feel like I was in like a trance, I guess. I mean, I couldn't move. I was like rooted to the spot, just staring at him, and it was honestly, to be honest, I'm like 51, and it's the most peaceful experience I've ever had in my life. I've
Wow.
never been that peaceful again.
Then maybe it is like one of those like guardian angel experiences or like something like that. I mean,
In the form of the Hatman, it's really weird though.
well, maybe it's like in the form of like someone who like died there, or like maybe yeah, maybe like used to wear like a trench coat and a hat or something like that. I don't know.
I'm gonna come visit this 10-year-old
Just just
in a
spitballing here.
demon form, but I have positive intentions. Yeah, that it's very
I
odd.
don't know, man.
uh, do you think there's a scientific or spiritual explanation behind this, or what do you think it really is? What?
Myself, I have no idea. I have no idea. Like I said, I really don't believe in things that I can't see or, have proof of.
Right.
But I definitely saw him. I know that. And like I said, it's been 40 years and I still remember every detail. I remember the smell in the air, the feel of the cold on my skin. I remember what he looked like. I remember where he was standing. Um, so, and I try to think about it often so that I don't lose those memories. I don't ever want to forget. You get older, your brain kind of forgets things, and I don't ever want to forget.
Right. Do you have any photos of where the Hatman was, or maybe we could find some photos on Google Maps, share with the viewers?
Um, I don't think I could right this second. I know some of the pictures that I had sent you. I think one had a picture of the building. I was showing
All right.
the girl where I had seen him, and I was like, I know you know where this is because we lived on the same street. Yeah.
So, for the listeners who may have had a similar experience, what advice or insight can you share with them?
I would just like to know. I mean, I don't have any advice. Just soak it up, I guess, if it's a good experience. I wish I had had more time with him, but then again, I don't know how time was passing. You know what I mean? It could have been seconds, it could have been minutes. I have no idea, but um, I'm always curious to see if anybody else has had a good experience with him. I read the experiences, and when people are like, "He's evil," and this, I'm like offended. I'm at that, I'm reading it, going, "That's my boy, the Hat Man. Like, don't speak of him that way." Yeah. So I would like to see anybody else who had a good experience, because it's to me, he's not evil.
Wow. Some people report physical sensations like pressure, pushing, or even folding during the encounters. There are accounts of figures appearing in mirrors or being perceived during paralysis, not just in dreams. I mean, everything that happens with the Hatman usually, it seems like the opposite for this. So, no sleep paralysis, broad daylight, good vibes. Yeah, this is an odd one for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely like it was like a floaty feeling, like
Yeah.
like a lightness. Like there was no heavy feeling or no evil feeling or anything.
Wow.
So
But you didn't feel anything. You saw him across the street. He moved over, then he vanished, I guess.
yeah, well he didn't vanish. I remember the last thing I was looking at him, and then I was back in the house.
Right. Okay.
It's almost as if he was like, "You've had enough. Get back inside," and just kind of like put me there.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
So outside, then inside, wondering like, where did he go? And when something makes you feel that good, like that peaceful, and that like you want it back,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like I said, I had a kind of a rough childhood, and there's times when I would like wish to see him so that I could feel peaceful again and not feel all the um, stuff that was going on around.
Hmm.
You know, I was like, can I get a little bit of peace here again, Hatman? Could you come back?
It does. It does sort of sound like at that point it sort of is like kind of like maybe like an angel like figure, even if it does like not look like conventionally like like a angel.
I don't
Makes
know.
sense.
Please put your ideas of what this is below in the comments, because this one is pretty interesting. Because everything is just confusing. I don't know what to think of it. It's like everything I think of the Hatman is opposite, so it's definitely unique. Um,
He definitely left an impression on me. I always like to keep him to myself, like, and I get jealous if other people. That's weird. That's gross.
huh.
Um, I get like, I don't like that other people have seen him too, and I'm like, well, maybe he was only nice to me. Like, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, but um, yeah, I like him. I feel like I had such a good experience that like I said, I've waited for him to come back for 40 years, and he never has. It's very sad.
The Hatman might represent something in the trauma, guilt, fear, or of death. Maybe these visions are a way of our brain externalizing internal stress or trauma. Um, it's weird because you were like 10, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially
there
since
was a lot of.
most people see him when they like take a lot of Benadryl or something like that. Like they start to like hallucinate.
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
If
I think what's his name? Aaron Rodgers said he like saw the Hat Man after like he had like surgery or something, and they gave him like a ton of medication.
the football guy,
Yeah, the football player.
He'll be on the show next.
Yeah, we wish.
Curbs, what do you think this is? What is your theory?
My theory is it might be like maybe like a guardian angel or something like that. I don't know. Sounds like you said it was like near a church, right?
yes.
And it like came to you at like a troubled time. I feel like that's sort of like it sounds sort of like angelish, but to be honest, like I don't really know. That's just a theory.
I mean, that
Yeah.
would make sense for from the peaceful
Yeah.
feeling. That would make sense.
Curbs, if you saw him, are you gonna fight him or are you gonna hide? What are you gonna do?
Well, if I saw him in my house, yeah, that'd be a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Even if he did have good intentions.
How do you fight a ghost though, or a demon? You need to get some holy water.
Yeah, I mean, might just run at that point.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, at that point, just run.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, though. I feel like it would be a different experience had I saw him in the house. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm in my dark room now, looking around, going, what does he mean he's in the house?
Yeah, that is interesting how your friend felt calm even when it, like, I guess, sort of looks like there's like an intruder in the house.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure of her background. I do
Yeah.
know that her father was a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if that has
Hmm.
anything to do with anything, but I do know that much. Her father was
Mhm.
very religious. With it's a different kind of religion, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's still very stern and strict. They didn't celebrate any holidays or anything. So,
Yeah. So what else do you know about her encounter? Was she sleepy or?
um, I would have to go back and read the messages again. If I'm correct, she saw him at night as well, in just in different parts of her house. So it could have been a sleep thing. I mean, it seems like we're seeing him at night. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did she encounter him multiple times or just that one time and he just like kept reappearing in her house?
She said he kept showing up in her house. That's what she kept. She's like, I kept seeing him in my house, in different rooms.
Interesting. And then I'm guessing he would just like disappear or something.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah, she thought it had to do something with the church as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But she also had a positive vibe of the Hatman.
Well, she didn't necessarily say she had a positive vibe, but she said she didn't sense any evil. She didn't sense any bad vibes. So I don't think she quite felt the rapture that I did, but I don't think she felt threatened either.
Interesting.
And you've never taken drugs or anything?
Nope.
Dude, it was
And
10 years old, bro. Like, what?
Wow, I'm just.
Well, no, even I was gonna say, even as an adult here, I've never used drugs, which nobody believes because I'm from Baltimore, but I swear I've never. Um, so, and if I thought it would bring him back, I might slip a Benadryl. I don't know, but
If you'd like to talk to Michael Paul or Mr. Curbs, shoot an email to theSinisterDistrict@gmail.com. That's theSinisterDistrict@gmail.com. You can also join the Sinister District Discord server in the description. This is the Sinister District.
So, what is your theory? Your final theory? What do you? Let's close the book on this. What do you think it is?
me,
Yes,
I just think that's my homeboy, the Hat Man. I don't know.
he's the Hatman. He's not a ghost. He's not a
Hatman.
demon. He's just his own entity, the Hatman.
He's my bud.
But very interesting that you had a very positive experience with him. That's definitely a unique story.
If you have any questions, please send us your questions at theSinisterDistrict@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear them. Maybe you've had a Hatman experience as well. Maybe not so positive. Maybe so. But yeah, I think that just about does it. Yeah, I think my theory. I'm gonna let's make a theory here. I think the Hatman, in this case, I think it was a shadow figure. I think it was some sort of entity, paranormal, of the shadow people, probably. And yeah, I think you just encountered the Hatman. I think that's what happened.
Very astute analysis.
I'm trying to find out why it was.
It's hard to explain the unexplainable.
I'm trying to find out why it was so positive for her, and I don't know what to say. I think your explanation was fine, Crips.
Yeah, it is.
I think sometimes too, like sometimes I'll make a joke about it and I'll be like, my mom was so evil. Like she used to terrorized me and my brother. And I'm thinking this poor guy's probably going like, hey, usually I'm evil, but your mom's evil enough. I'm going to make you feel good for a few minutes here.
I'm gonna leave you alone.
Yeah, so I'm just going to back off of you.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Well, any final words for the viewers here of the Hatman?
I would just like to say anybody has a bad experience, I'd like to hear it, because no disrespect to my homeboy, the Hatman.
Any final words?
Nah. I ain't got that.
Can't explain this one. All right. Until next time, folks, it's been a good one from the Sinister District and the great beyond. I wish you all a good night and keep your eyes open, because the Hatman may very well be across the street. Good night.